Hello Flosstube, welcome back to my channel. My name is Mary Ashcraft. If you are new here, you can follow me on Instagram at that same name. I will have everything linked and spelled down below. This is my Flosstube channel where I talk about cross stitch and anything else I feel like. I'm on a bit of a time crunch, so if I'm talking faster than normal, I know I already talk fast like a Gilmore, but if I talk even faster, that is why. Oh my gosh, okay, I'm trying to think. Nothing really happened this week except my allergies are like, anybody else? I was trying to think like, why is this year my allergies are so bad? Because I felt like last year they weren't. And then I realized, Mary, last year you were inside during lockdown. I was like, oh yeah. Like we didn't really have windows open. I think we did like a little bit. But like last year, like I didn't go grocery shopping. Like my husband did everything. So I really was like, cause I was pregnant, 9 months pregnant, very much quarantined. So, I think that's probably why I don't remember last year being so bad. But this year, like I woke up this morning, I think I sneezed every 5 minutes until my Zyrtec kicked in. Like it just, my nose is just terrible. It hurts. It's rough. So, I'm actually having my very first cup of coffee of the day. Who am I? This is my favorite Disney mug. It is the New Orleans Square, so it has Pirates of the Caribbean, New Orleans Square, and the Haunted Mansion. Speaking of Halloween, I almost broke down and bought the Black Needle Society Trick or Treat Advent Halloween box. I was this close. I had it in my cart and then I decided not to. And I think I'm gonna have major FOMO, and like when everybody gets it, I think it's gonna be, I'm gonna look back and think, oh man, I should have done it. But I told myself if I don't do Halloween, I will do Christmas. So it's kind of where we're at. Okay, so let's get into stitching. The first thing that I worked on, the first whip, I don't have any finishes, I don't have any FFOs. I've been in the office almost every single day this week. My boss has a trial on Monday, and so everything that needs to be done that requires an in-person meeting for any other case is falling to me, because my boss and then the other attorney who does litigation, she's like a few years older than me. And this will be her first trial, so they're doing it together so that she knows how to do it for the future. I'm very excited because I'm hoping that they live stream it so I can watch it, because it's also my first trial, so very excited. I mean, not excited for the parties, but excited for us. So this is Sense and Sensibility. I think last time I was almost done with part 2. And so I finished off part 2. All I have left is part 3, which is down here, and it's the mustache of the dragon. It's not really a dragon, but was it Garrett? I think Garrett Coffee Stitcher said it looked like a dragon, and now I can't unsee it. So part 3 is all I have left. I'm doing the white fabric conversion, so the flowers are blue instead of white. I really like this. This is a 32 count even weave in a gray gingham. I guess we're gonna have to go like this. It's a gray gingham. I really like it. It's very dainty, very pretty. And last week I talked about how my spacing is terrible because it's only gonna be like this big, and I just wasted a ton of fabric that I now have to use for smalls. It's fine. So I don't know the next time I'll work on this. My only goal for this is to have it done before the next Stitching Book Club pattern starts, or Stitch Along starts, and that's Little Women. I don't know if it's going to be May, June, July, something. I'm very excited for that one. That one I might actually read the book. Maybe. That's a big book. That's a big book. So, I really, since last time, I only worked on it the night that I filmed, so, because that was only a little bit left. Then, because Michelle Bendy and a few others have decided that it is Barbara Anna April. I decided to pick up Dreaming Girl. Here is what the pattern looks like, parts 1 through 4. The part that's missing is part 5. It's the last part, which is down here. And it's like a winter scene. But basically, and I didn't realize this until Michelle said something, this is basically all of the seasons. So you have summer, spring, autumn, and then winter. I'm doing slight modifications because when I first saw the preview for this, I thought it looked like Merida from Brave. So I'm doing a few modifications to make it more like Brave. So here's what I have so far. Oh gosh, I love her. This fabric is 14 count Aida black, is it black ice? Wait, I have the thing here. Black ice from Be Stitch Me. This was from the winter solstice box. This whole fabric, I mean, look at that. Beautiful, beautiful. Love it. Okay, so I, for the most part, finished part 2, which was spring. I realized that I didn't have 2 of the colors, which are the 2 other like goldy orange yellow colors. So I wasn't able to finish the flowers or these or these. So I need to go pick those up because I looked in my stash and I looked in every single whip. I do not have those colors anywhere. So I gotta go pick those up. So I'm trying to think of what are some of the modifications I'm gonna do. One of the modifications I did was I made her dress blue. So the color I used for that was 3765 to look more like Merida's teal dress. I'm thinking I'm gonna keep the ships. I'm thinking there's a lighthouse on this right here. I'm thinking about switching that out for one of the rock formations that is in the area where Eleanor changes back to Eleanor. There are ships right here. I'm going to keep those because there are ships in the movie. Oh, there's houses right here. I think one of those houses I'm going to change into the cabin that the witch is in that gives Merida the pastry. I just have to I have to watch the movie again to see what it looks like. Because I can't remember if it's like a legit log cabin or if it was like built into a hill with like rock or, you know. So I have to rewatch it to look at what that is. And then down here, okay, so down here in winter is all houses and snowflakes and trees. I want to be ambitious and chart the castle for this area. I don't know if I'll be able to pull it off. We'll see. And then I just remembered this, her earring is supposed to be a key, and I changed it to an arrow, which was a really simple, easy fix. The only thing that's missing are the feathers on the end, and I'm just gonna do those in backstitch. Because I think they'll look better. I at first was going to try doing it with cross stitch, but then I thought it was going to look a little wonky spacing wise. So I'm just going to do them in backstitch. And I kept all of the other things the same because, you know, she's in the woods, she's in Scotland, she's amongst nature. So this is where I'm at on Dreaming Girl. I worked on her for 3 days. So I got a lot done for 3 days, I think. And I, if you've been watching since I started this, I had to frog a little piece, and I finally did that. I actually sat down and did that. So everything is where it should be now. I'm very excited for this one to finish it and put it up in my daughter's room. I want to do Dreaming Frida. Only part 1 of that is out right now. So I'm interested to see the rest of the parts and see what she ends up looking like too. I also bobbinated this week. I did that on Sunday. It's much easier to bobinate when my kids are awake than it is to stitch, because my baby, I don't want him getting the needle up in him. So I bobinated, and so this is a Floss Buddy by Bags Plus. It has 12 pockets that hold bobbins. You can also, do I have a fancy floss somewhere? I don't have a fancy floss, but I can show you how I use them if I haven't bobinated. So there's one pocket left right here. So here's a skein, about half a skein of DMC. And I just fold it up and I stick it in here. And you can do the same thing with fancy floss with the little cards. So I'll do this when I haven't bobinated yet. Or, you know, if you don't want to bobinate, but you really like these and the organization, you could do this as well. There's really no wrong or right way to use things in cross stitch. And then this has a pocket. So I keep, this is for the fabric. And then I keep a little scissor that my friend Dawn gave me. I need to ask her where she bought these because I want more. They're like the perfect size that to just include in every single whip. So yeah, so I love these. I'm ordering more. I have a couple more in other whips. But now I'm like, I want them for every project. I need them for every project. Okay, so this was my first thing I worked on for Barbara Anna April. I have no plans in terms of like how soon I'm going to finish Dreaming Girl. I'll just finish it whenever I finish it, type of thing. So I worked on her, for 3 days, and then I worked on this for 3 days. So this is Patriotic ABC, also by Barbara Anna. This one. This was in the 2020 summer punch needle and primitive stitcher. And here, whoops, I kind of stopped. I stitched last night, and then I stopped and started I wanted to take a break, so I started watching TikTok. And then of course I got sidetracked, and before I knew it was 11 o'clock. Oh well, I need to stop doing that. So here's where I'm at. Oh gosh. I really like this. I think it is so beautiful, and I was worried that this color was going to blend in with my fabric. And this is, oh my gosh, I looked at it the other day too. Natural, what is it? It's a 16 count. Natural something. Natural light. Is it natural light? Why do I feel like it's natural light? I think it's that. I got it from 123 Stitch. The larger piece I'm using for Farmhouse Christmas. So I've put in a significant amount of work. I'm working on finishing this border because it's pretty laborious. Just because you have a lot of starting and stopping. I did carry a lot of my threads depending on where I was going. And Michelle made a comment on one of her videos recently about when she carries threads and she's going a longer distance, she will run it under some of the, whatever's in that way. So like right here, I don't know if you'll be able to see it. Right here, I carried my thread from here to here. That's not. And I ran it under those stitches. And she's like, it just helps it make it more secure. And I was like, why didn't I think of that before? Like, that just seems so common sense. But I hadn't done that. And I do carry my threads often enough where that's going to make a difference. So, so I used that. So thank you, Michelle, for mentioning that, because I very much appreciated that. So once I finish up this border, all I have left is to fill in the eagle's body, because even though it looks like it's filled in, it's not. And then fill in this top part. I just have to put in, figure out where I want to put all my stars. You'll see this is called Patriotic ABC because it has the ABCs, but I decided I didn't want to do the ABCs. I liked it without it. And so I just stitched, like I stitched the stripes without anything in the way except when there's like vines. And then the same with up here, just, the fruits and stuff. And then I'm going to put more stars up here to fill it in. And I just like that better. I like the way that it looks better. So here, you can see it side by side. I mean, I like them both ways, but I don't know. I just kind of like it without the ABCs. I think it just looks, just like it better. So that's where I'm at. So I've worked on this for 3 nights. So I think if I worked on this for, I don't know, I think one more night I would definitely finish the border, and then another night to figure out where to put all the stars, and then another night to fill in the blue. Oh, and fill in this. I could probably fill in this on the same night that I would do the stars. So I would think I could finish this in 3 nights. But because this is a large block of color to fill in, this would be a good one to do while I'm on like a court call. So depending on if I have any court calls coming up, I might save this for that. Because I don't know if I have any others that I have big blocks of colors that I could do that with. And I always like having something to work on. So that's where I'm at. And that's my last whip to talk about. This might actually be a shorter video. Which is a record for me because they're never short anymore. What is today? Just so you know, I have my video this week. Next week I will have a video, but the week after that I will not because I'll be in Arizona visiting my parents for my son's first birthday. So I don't have any haul. I did buy something. Even though I'm on a no spend, a no buy of Stitchy stuff. I did buy one thing. I take them back. I bought 2 things, but they're not here yet. I bought a piece of fabric from Be Stitch Me because she had a fight night, and it was her first fight night in like a month, over a month. It's been a long time since she's had a fight night. So it's like I almost felt obligated, right? That's what I'm telling myself. I'm obligated to get some fabric because it's been a long time. So she's at a fight night. So that's coming. And then this month, Michelle started her live D-stashes again. She has them on Sundays at 8 a.m. Pacific. And what she does is she has fabric, patterns, yarn, and Floss Buddies. What I talked about, these in different sizes, and she uses what is called Nightbot, and you enter the keyword that enters you into the drawing, and then when she spins it, whoever's name pops up, you purchase that thing. So she kept saying congratulations on her last one. She kept saying congratulations after somebody won it. She's like, I don't know why I'm saying congratulations because I'm not giving it away. You're still paying for it, but it still feels like you're winning it, So I happened to win a pattern, and it is Country Cottage or Little House, which I think apparently they might be the same company or they're owned by the same person. I don't know, but it's the suffrage act. So it's the women's right to vote. It's a pattern I had been wanting for a while to stitch, and I would like to put it in my office. I don't know if I've mentioned this before. I work in a very small firm. I'm a lawyer. Work in a very small firm. We only have 1 man at our office. We are an office of women. And I think in a male-dominated field, although it is when you look at statistics now, it really is more 50-50 of men versus women in law, but it still feels like very much a male-dominated field when you look at how we have to act versus how men are allowed to act in depositions, in court, what we have to wear versus what they have to wear. Like, when my boss goes to trial on Monday, my boss and the other attorney, they're going to be wearing skirt suits. They're not going to be wearing pants at all. Because that's how we have to do it. You know, like, you can wear a pantsuit. I've definitely worn pantsuits in court. But there's always that, like, that judginess, you know? Because as a woman, you're supposed to be wearing a skirt suit. So, to work at a firm that is all women, except for one man, although we do have a law student clerk, and he's also a guy. So, I would say like 1.5, because I think he's not full-time. I think he's part-time. So 1.5 guys that work at a firm, in like a firm of 15-ish people. That's pretty great. Most of the firms around here that I know, all the attorneys are men, and all the paralegals and office staff are women. So that's really exciting, and I like that. That's part of the reason why I wanted to work here. But anyways, total tangent. I got the nicest Stitchy mail, the nicest happy mail. So Memphis Sarah, we were talking after she posted her first video, we were talking, or her second video, whatever. We were talking, and when I mentioned her in my video, I talked about how my dad used to live in Memphis, and he lived there for a while, like several years. And he was there when Elvis died, and he is, you can see him in a picture of the funeral procession. Anyways, so there's, you know, that nice little connection with her. And so I told her, you know, there was one summer, my dad and I went on a road trip the summer after my freshman year of high school to look at colleges, because I was one of those weird kids that started looking at colleges in 8th grade. So I toured my first college the summer after freshman year of high school. And so we drove through the southern states. So we drove through like Arizona, New Mexico, Texas, over to Memphis. We stayed a night in Memphis, and then we went up to Cincinnati, and we stayed with my cousin. And the first school that I toured was University of Dayton, which is where I ended up going. But when we were in Memphis, my dad was so excited because this one restaurant that he used to talk about all the time that had his favorite, like the best ribs he's ever had in his entire life, was a place called The Rendezvous. So I asked Sarah, you know, my dad used to talk about this restaurant. And when we were there, that one night on our road trip was the one night that happened to be closed. So we never actually got to eat it. And so I asked Sarah if it was still there, if it was like even that good, you know, because I'm sure in my head as a child, I'm thinking, okay, yeah, Dad, whatever. Like, it's probably not even that good. And Sarah was like, no, like it's still there. It's amazing. And you can even buy their seasoning at the grocery store. And I was like, that is so cool. And she was like, I'll send you some. And I was like, no, you don't have to do that. And she's like, no, really, let me send you some. So I got her package, and I almost started crying when I opened it, simply for the fact that she sent me 2 bottles of this dry rub from The Rendezvous. And so we've used it once. I put it on a little bit of my steak, and it's delicious. But my husband is at Costco right now, and he's buying ribs, and so we're going to put this on it. Very, very excited. But she also sent me a bag of Star Wars jelly beans, which I told her, I was like, it's funny you sent me these because these are the only jelly beans I like. And she didn't know that. She also sent me this, so sweet, this chart. This is new from Needlework Expo. Erica Michaels, Blessings Be More. It's an Irish blessing, a big one and a little one. And and I just finished my Irish blessing, so this would be perfect to do. And then she sent me the nicest card. First of all, Sarah, your handwriting is beautiful. Like, I'm sure you don't think it is because you're just writing a card, but like your handwriting looks like my mom's and it's beautiful. But she had the nicest note, and when I read this, I cried. So this was just all the Stitchy mail I've ever gotten, which this was one of them. This project bag from my friend Dawn. She made this for me out of fabric that she designed. She does hand lettering. And so I have the nicest Stitchy friends who send me the nicest Stitchy mail, and I am forever grateful. And I love you all. So thank you so much, Sarah. I know I already thanked you when I messaged you, but I just want to thank you again because that was the nicest package, and I'm going to cry again. Means so much. For those of you who don't know, my dad died, which is why it's means a lot. That's something so simple as this, his favorite food in the world that he didn't get to have again. So, anyways, how am I doing on time? Oh my gosh, I'm doing great. I probably talked a mile a minute, so I apologize, but I'm actually not running behind schedule. So, do I have any plans for my Stitchy Plans? Okay. Owl Forest Mania in May is a go. We are going to do hashtag Owl Forest Mania to keep it simple. That will start in May. My Owl Forest shipment has shipped. I think it's at the Russian border. I have no idea when it's going to get here. But I have other things I can work on. So I have my coffee sampler. I have my tea sampler. So I have plenty to work on until I get that stuff. So those are my plans for May. For April, I'm just going to be working on catching up on my stitch-alongs. I haven't even touched Christmas Wreath by Frosted Pumpkins. I need to. I'm like 3 parts behind. 2 parts behind? 3 parts behind. I don't know, but I am behind. Rocio mentioned this in her latest video of like, yes, this is just a hobby, because we get comments all the time like, it's just a hobby, it's not that serious, just work on what you want to work on, you don't need to have goals, you don't need to you don't need to rush to finish things like that. I'm a goal-oriented person. I'm somebody that even in my hobbies, I like to have goals, I like to have a schedule. It just helps me keep track of things, which is also why I keep track of it in a journal. So for April, catching up, trying, probably working on Christmas wreath. I know the last week, or the last few days technically, when I'm in Arizona, I'm going to work on my Christmas list by Silver Creek Samplers. I'm also very behind on that. I need to catch up. Dawn posted yesterday a picture on Instagram of hers, and it's looking beautiful, and she is farther ahead than me, which is totally fine. But it just confirmed that I'm really, really behind. What else? Oh, I have something I'm going to start this month. My dad's birthday is on April 25th. He would have been 71. This November, it will have been 5 years since he died, which it still feels like it's been a week or a month. Like, it doesn't feel like it's been that long. So there is a pattern that I have that I will start sometime this month, probably sometime the week of his birthday. And if you've been watching me from the beginning of my channel, you probably remember what that pattern is. I'm trying to pick out a fabric for it. I'm having a hard time. I can't decide, per usual. So I know I'm going to start that. So I think between now and starting that, I'm just going to be working on Dreaming Girl, Christmas Wreath, Sense and Sensibility, Patriotic ABC, basically just whatever I have lying around. I plan on starting that one this month. In May, I know I'm going to have a new start with Owl Forest. In June, I'm going to start Frogwarts Year 1. In July, I'm going to start Frogwarts Year 2. So I have like a schedule of like which ones I'm going to start each month. So I need to get some finishes in. So trying to finish off Sense and Sensibility, try to finish off Patriotic ABC. I think I have some other smalls that I started with March Madness that I might try to start as well. So I got some plans. And now that I've said it, I know I'm not going to follow it because that's always what happens, right? So I also had a shout out. I didn't have time to look at it real quick. I will let you know next week. I'll probably have lots of people to talk about because there's lots of new people who I've been watching. And it might take me a second to find it. I will post in my description box a couple of people that I've been watching that are newer. And I'm sorry that I'm not saying their names right now because I can't find them. Probably because I already watched their videos, so they're not on my watch later. That's probably why. So that's all I got. I need more coffee. Actually, I need to heat up my coffee. Do you ever heat up your coffee in the microwave and then forget that you heated it up and you leave it in there and then like an hour later you're like, oh crap, and you go back and then you have to reheat it? Yeah, that happens to me all the time. So need more coffee. Gonna go to work. Gonna make some ribs. And I will see you guys next week. Happy stitching. Bye.